Welcome to RDR2 and thanks for joining us. Today we have a big tip on how to get a bunch of perfect rat carcasses quickly. And this is important because there are two different hats that require a lot of rat carcasses, perfect ones, to craft, as well as a wildlife art expedition. If you get to that quest, you'll need, I believe, 3 perfect rats. So those are 2 good reasons you might want to pay attention here. Now, if you'll notice in the background, we are standing at the Elysian pool. And there is a waterfall right in the background. And if you look more closely, you will notice, well, you won't notice until you go in there, there is a cave. There's a cave under the waterfall. And that's where we are going to get these perfect rats. Now, when you get inside the cave, one of the things you're going to notice when you see these rats are they are all 1-star mangy brown rats, which is not good, right? Because we need to start with 3 stars in order to get a perfect pelt. So on the surface here, it doesn't look like a good idea. But what I found out is I went inside here and I started hunting these things. And yes, they're mangy brown rats. But when you use a small game arrow, what happens is you need to get a good shot off. And if you get a good shot off with a small game arrow, and you pick this thing up after you shoot it, it's going to say perfect rat carcass. And you can do this multiple times with a small game arrow. And if after you do this, you're going to have a bunch of perfect rat carcasses. Now, here are the ones that we can see. If you want to take this a step further, you can go into the dark area of this cave, because you can either hold the light or you can't. But to hunt, you're going to need to be in the dark because you want to be able to use your arrow. So you want to have these small game arrows equipped so you can go in there and hunt. Now, it's going to be very dark. What you want to do is you want to see where these rats stand out. And what you want to do is you want to activate the tracking feature by pushing in both the L3 and R3 buttons at the same time. And if you do that, and you're patient with your eyes, you'll notice some little spots that aren't black. Some little like white or grayish spots. They're a little tricky to find on the screen. But if you can find them, and of course you have your small game arrow equipped or have your bow ready, you can use a little Deadeye, and you can aim at these rats. And of course, after you hit 1 or 2, you can go ahead and pick them up. It's going to say mangy brown rat, of course, but we know that if we hit it with a small game arrow, and once we pick it up, it's going to be a perfect rat carcass. And if you'll notice right here from the satchel, as I'm going to open up right here, we got 9 perfect rats in this go-around right here. So again, the easy ones are up front in the cave where you can see a little bit of light. But if you go to the back, and you can be patient, you use tracking, and then of course use some Deadeye. Once you get the tracking down, you can start hitting these rats and getting perfect carcasses. Like I said, in this go-around, we got 9 perfect rats and on the first go-around, we managed to get 5 perfect rats. Got a little bit better the second time, of course. And that comes out to a total of 14 perfect rat carcasses in 2 trips. Of course, make sure you use the small game arrow, as that is the appropriate weapon choice here. So basically, like I said earlier, in our first trip, we managed to get 5 perfect rat carcasses. In the second trip, we got a little bit better. We managed to get 9. Of course, that requires some very good shooting and in the dark, and of course keeping your Deadeye full just to be kind of safe there. But yeah, if you can get rats at that high of a clip, you're going to be able to knock these out in like maybe 2 or 3 trips, where you can get the hat you want, get the rat hat, get all the specialty hats that involve perfect rat carcasses, as well as take care of the wildlife art expedition portion should you find that quest on the game. And with that being said, that is going to wrap this up. I am signing out. Thank you for watching, and good luck.